Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your weekly reading. So this reading will go from the 28th of July to the 3rd of August and it's for Aries. So Aries, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you are new on board, welcome. If the reading doesn't resonate, please remember the readings are general. They do flip-flop, so it can be the other person I'm reading that you're dealing with. If the reading doesn't fit, don't make it fit, basically. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Okay, I keep doing these. Poor cards are getting very bent. I need to do them the opposite way around. They're just so nice to shuffle with. Okie dokie, let's have a look what's coming out here. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords coming up first. Now, the Eight of Swords depicts someone shut in amongst eight swords and looking like they have no way of escaping. But if we look closely, we can see that she's blindfolded. Her ties are not that strong. And, of course, she could get out of those swords if she wants to. So what the card implies is that you are stuck in your head on something that you are unable to free yourself from. You know how to get out, you know how to move forward, but you're actually refusing to do that because you're stuck in your thoughts. Sometimes we can feel this way after we question something, so possibly the end of a relationship or the end of a situation. You might feel this way after you haven't got a job. It's that questioning, you know, why didn't it happen? Was I not good enough? Am I ever going to have this? Is it ever going to come my way? So it has always that sort of feeling to it. But I can tell you now with this card that yes, all those things will happen. They will come good. But you just have to take a step outside of these swords. Now, for some of you, it could be about an offer that did not go to fruition. So for some of you here, there could have been an offer of some sort of love. It could have been an offer of marriage, engagement, could have been an offer of a new child that hasn't gone the way you wanted it to, but definitely having a feeling of moving in a different direction. But what I want to say to you, the Eight of Wands is here, and the Eight of Wands talks about messages coming in very quickly. So if you didn't get that job you were offered and you're feeling disappointed, it's very possible that somebody will come back and offer that to you. There's just something that was hidden at the time. So whatever this was for you, this thing that you're trying to stop thinking about, when it was offered, it wasn't the right timing, okay? So just remember, with the moon here, it just wasn't in the right place in the sky, if you can understand that. So now the offer will come back around very, very quickly, and it might be how you want it now. So this energy won't last for long. It's a very quick energy here. Okay, so we do have the Four of Wands coming up first. So the Four of Wands talks about stability. It can talk about traditional marriage, but it definitely talks about something to do with stability, possibly a relationship here. Nine of Pentacles. So you could have been single for a while. You could have been enjoying your singledom, enjoying having, you know, your time to yourself, your place to yourself, feeling quite good about being on your own here. Okay, Five of Swords, but you could have had some sort of disagreement with somebody here. You could have refused an offer. You could have refused that offer because you weren't really sure whether you and the other person were on the same page. Maybe you were dealing with someone who was a little self-centered, a little selfish, a little bit about their way, and you've had to knock back some sort of offer because the other person wasn't coming from the right place. Yeah, see, this is something you want to work on, but we've only got the Three of Pentacles here, which means that you were working on it yourself. Someone's made an offer you here that looked like it was stable, but when you've looked more closely, you've hung on to your singledom here because the offer that was coming in didn't look like it was coming from that right perspective. So the person may not have been really willing to put in the work here that they should have done. This is why you're disappointed. I want to say to you, with the Knight of Cups here, you're going to get the offer again. There's no doubt about that. Seven of Pentacles. So this is about waiting, being patient, and understanding that you've manifested. Now you're moving towards some sort of emotional fulfillment here. Very straightforward reading. Could be dealing with a water sign here. Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio. I love it. You're knowing exactly what's going on here. You've watched too many readings. Nine of Swords is coming out last though, so I will clarify why that's coming out here. But what I want to say to you is something has been offered to you that's left you perhaps feeling like you didn't get what you wanted. And it's put you in your head. So somebody's offered you something that really hasn't been serious about it, or it's been like a half-assed offer. Doesn't matter which way I look at it. Now, what I want to say to you is this person, in you knocking them back or pushing them away or telling them no, whatever has happened here has put them in a bit of a tailspin, because they're now coming back to offer you something more substantial. But I think you knew this when you said no, or you told them you weren't ready to accept. So it could be that someone's offered you a casual job and you want something full-time. It could be that someone's offered you love, but it's a very half-hearted offer, because now they're coming back to offer you the real deal. This person has gone away and absolutely 100% sat in their emotions to decide what they wanted. So they want the same as you. It's just I think that they thought that they could just take a slow creep up to it. And it didn't work that way, of course. So you're quite happy to stay single, even though you're in your head at the moment. I think you're in your head because you're wondering if you should have taken the offer. I would have said to you, looking at this, you know what, you did the right thing. You've stood back on this person. You've given them a chance to really understand what they think, because they're now coming forward with the real offer here. Now, the only thing I'm not sure about is the Nine of Swords has come up at the end. Now, if the Nine of Swords had come up a little bit earlier, I would have said, well, you know, maybe they're sort of digesting their thoughts at the moment and wondering what they've done or they haven't done right. I feel like when I go into this energy that this person thought they could get away with offering something more casual because they weren't prepared for a commitment. But now you haven't accepted. It's like they are actually really scared about taking that bigger leap with you. I think this is why the Nine of Swords is here. It's like I thought it would be really good to make an offer to you, but now you haven't accepted it. It means I've got to give you something more, and I'm not really sure that I'm in the right place for something more. The King of Swords has come out here, so something to do with the truth being spoken here, or opening up, not being cold about feelings. Okay. So I think when they've come forward to offer you something, because I said about the slow creep up, I think that what they were trying to do was offer you something small so they could build for something more. But I actually think this person may be either in love with you or wanting to offer you something more substantial, but they're scared of this commitment here. This is what this is. This is fear of commitment. So it's like they were ready to offer you dating or something casual, or a casual role, because they fear it could be a partnership too, because they fear offering you. So it may have been they offered you a job and now they're coming back to offer you a partnership, which is what you wanted in the first place. Or it could be, as I said, someone's offered you sort of a casual relationship and you wanted commitment. This person's actually quite fearful of commitment, but you are going to get it here because he's ready to give it, or she's ready to give it to you now. So they were that's why they've gone the way they have. That's why I said a slow creep up. So I'll call the video that, because that's exactly how it feels. If I offer a little bit, then maybe I can just get away with that. Okay, so you have the card of Magic coming out here. So let's see what it says. Good, I went straight to the book, straight to the page. When magic appears, you're invited to see the world through the eyes of wonder and awe, taking on the innocence of a child who knows that all things are possible. Infinite potential exists in the great mind, and you are being invited to call it in and recognize the dance in synchronistic events, signs, symbols, and omens given to you through the oracle of the ordinary world. This is a sign that Spirit is reminding you that you can co-create your world in a sacred partnership. Your part is to dream, to intend, and to watch for the signs that show you what action to take. Right now, it appears that you are on the right track to make your dreams come true. Great Spirit is listening and acting on your behalf. Pay attention. Magic gives birth to miracles. And that's what I said. I think in knocking this back in the first place was part of what you were meant to do. Have a great week, Aries.